Everybody, welcome back to the NOLA Live podcast, where we talk about all things live here in New Orleans because my buddy, Mr. Chuck Credo, who I will bring in right about 1, 2, 3 now.
What's up, man?
Man, Chuck is my partner in crime, but most importantly, he is also the owner of the William Credo Agency. So he manages a lot of live events for musicians of all types, honestly, including the airport, which, by the way, how is that coming along?
Well, we're still waiting to resume live music at the airport. We're waiting for the good word. Maybe today we're hearing that the governor is going to announce some kind of ease of restrictions, we hope. Cool. So that might lend itself to starting music again over there. But
that's awesome.
We hope. We're fingers crossed.
Hey, you know, Flirty Girl, who is in the airport.
Mm-hmm.
For those of you who don't know who Flirty Girl is, she's a local from here that after Katrina started selling T-shirts that was just New Orleans phrase based, that were so, only the locals know kind of thing. She got extremely popular, and fast forward to where she is now, and she's huge. She's huge. But she just right across the street from my studio is going to be her location for her main hub of storage or whatever.
Get out. I didn't know that. That's awesome.
Yeah, the sign just went up across the street. I'm like, look at her.
Great. That's awesome.
Which is nice. And we did her wedding too. So it's always good to see a fellow awesome person in the area doing what they do best here.
Amen. Amen to that.
Hey, speaking of, I heard you played at Rock and Bowl, like full swing batter up mode last week.
We sure did, man. It was our first time back. We had last played Rock and Bowl. Mixed Nuts had last played Rock and Bowl on Friday the 13th of March in 2020. We had our epic, we had our epic return on March 26th, the last Friday, and it was a wonderful experience, and it was really great to be back. And when we walked out the dressing room area and we actually saw an audience, it was my God! I remember why we do this now. This is
what
amazing.
Is this thing?
And we have been playing privately on private events for the past few months, and those have been really good. But to have a club show was very, very special. And I mean, and John Blanchard and all those guys over there, and Larry and Joe and that whole crew, man, they're just I'm just so glad that they're doing well and rebounding from this whole thing. Of course, we had Larry on the podcast a few weeks ago, and they're really as a kind of a North Star to everybody. They're looking to the future. They're not wasting time on what we had last year. They're worried about where we're going in the next 6 months. So
absolutely,
that's what they're looking at, man. It's very inspiring to see.
That is so good. Yeah, man. We've been saying some prayers for a lot of our friends that just those bigger businesses. The problem is the bigger they are, the harder they fall. So
right.
Some of these bigger restaurants or just people just that have more employees and talk about a struggle, man. This was a testament of true faith and endurance that I can even. This was way worse than Hurricane Katrina ever was. And but you know what? It proves the point, though, man. We weren't wrong then. We weren't wrong now. We know how to move on.
Yep, and it's a true testament to a lot of folks. Business savvy to try and navigate those treacherous waters that we've all went through in the past year of minimal income stream. How do you keep everything afloat? And boy, I tell you what, it taught a lot of people a lot of lessons, about how to sustain a business during a tough time. And man, it can be anything, man. It can be war, it could be any kind of disaster, or like we who would be lying to say that they saw this coming, right? Nobody.
Exactly. And I'm so happy for you guys. I've been having you and the new band After Party, which I'm very excited to see play live, by the way.
Yep, recorded them last night, man. They were great. They did their video last night.
Explain to people who are listening what After Party is that you kind of created, because there's some people from other bands that kind of got together and have this band now.
Yeah, so we have basically taken a super group is what I like to call it. It's nice. it's a bunch of friends that have been performing together in separate entities for years. And as the Mixed Nuts continue to grow and grow and grow, we were able to absorb a lot of different friends of ours into the organization, to the point that we actually had enough to spawn a new band.
Yes.
And we have the group. It's called After Party, and it's led by Chad Gilmore, who people know from Mixed Nuts, of course, but people also know as Mark Broussard's drummer for the past, oh man, I think 15 to almost 20 years now.
Nice.
And Chad's a great person, and he works with me with the agency, and we've done all kind of booking work together and have performed together for years. And so he's going to lead that group, and it's an all-star lineup, man, and they just sound amazing. So we can't wait. Cool. We're going to debut them in June. They're going to do a few hits here and there, but they're going to debut in June. And of course, we've been using that awesome picture that GK Photography took.
I should pull that up now.
Yeah, come on.
Of course, I probably can't. I'll throw it in when I add in the
put it in post.
Video part when we throw it on our YouTube account over there.
Well, man, tell me how was your weekend, and what have you been up to? What are you?
I'll tell you what, I've thank the Lord, my client base is very widespread, and there's one thing that happens every year within the last 3 weeks leading into Easter and right after Easter, which is our high school seniors. They're graduating in May, and in New Orleans, senior portraits have kind of taken on their own little entity over the years, and I'm very proud to be one of the people that kind of turned that sail many moons ago. Great. And started photographing these kids like they were models instead of pose by a tree, put fist to chin, and show off the ring. Yeah. This looks fantastic.
Right.
And even the guys are into it. I got a guy coming up actually. He has a truck. And I'm like, bring it. Let's go to the lakefront, man. They're like, really? I said, I got ideas. Let's go. And to tell you the power of the word of mouth and your reputation for that matter. But when the word of mouth matches your reputation, I think that's how you really excel in any business. When somebody says, hey, the Mixed Nuts was awesome at my wedding, and two other people say, yeah, they were at my wedding too, and they were 3 years apart. Right. And then they hire you guys and y'all killed it again. And it's like, all right, these guys are the real deal. They're consistent. You can count on them. Right. Hire these people.
Exactly.
Well, I had one beautiful high school senior named Brooke that came in. We did our thing as usual. And just from her showing her app, there's a cool little app that I have for my seniors, to friends of hers, they've all called and booked. So in the next week or two, I'm slammed.
Good.
And so that's a wonderful thing. It's fun for me. People don't really notice about me or my history, but my grandmother was actually a model her entire life.
Get out. I didn't know that.
Yeah, until she passed away. I was 13. She got breast cancer right before I was in high school, I believe. Okay. And I didn't pick up a camera then. I wasn't playing drums at the time. I mean, I was 13.
Right.
So fast forwarding to, this is kind of weird that I'm a photographer. It also really would have been cool if she was still alive because she had so many connections here in town.
Yeah.
And I can be honest and tell you that my career has been 100%. Every inch was earned along the way, and I'm proud of that. But I think of my grandma a lot, actually. And when I have my female clients in front of me, it doesn't matter whether you're 18 or you're 85, a woman deserves to look a certain way.
Sure.
And there's a beauty in everybody, every shape, every form. And a true model knows their own figure. They know how to work themselves. That's their tool. Well, these high school kids don't have that kind of experience. So what I like to pull out of them is their fun side, their youth, and make them do stuff. And then I'll kind of go, oh, that's amazing. Do it again, but this way. And that's where my modeling skills kind of come in.
Sure.
And that gets carried into my brides and everything else. And speaking of brides, Felicity Church over there.
Very well, sure.
Fantastic place, man. It's an old building, actually. It's an old church that is in the historic books so he has to maintain a certain way of keeping the building up and keeping it looking the way it used to.
Yes, absolutely.
And he's a great guy to begin with. But I was very blessed. These people called me 2 weeks ago, and I was open, which was wonderful. These two are like models. Beautiful little redhead. This dude has the man bun. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, sure.
He has a cool hair, but if you put it up, and of course he had my favorite thing. He had a really cool hat, just like I do. So that's
awesome.
Nice. But they were fantastic people. They had a blast. We got a lot of really awesome images in only 2 hours time. And they went about their merry way, and they drove in. I forget where they drove in from. But that was my weekend. Smack.
Man, so let me ask you this question, man. I remember when I was a senior in high school taking my senior portraits, we were basically told, like, okay, this is who you go to. This is, you are to report at this time. It's very military, like, right?
Very military.
You report here, you do this, that kind.
If you love your country, you will go.
You will go. So is the freelance senior photo, is that a thing now? Excuse me for being so old, but
No. This is actually something about New Orleans that has never changed, honestly. And
okay.
There's a certain local competitor of mine that everybody knows because he does all the schools. And I love him to death, but he does have our high schools and local schools have contracts for their photographers.
Right.
And it's in their contract that they need to do so many things for the school, but the photographer's like, okay, we'll give you X amount of kickback, but we have the proms, the dances, everyone, and all the senior pictures. Well, what the photographers like myself who are not school contract based, they do not have to go to me, but they can.
Okay.
And this is not known, just like you don't know it. They don't tell the high school seniors this, but you only need to go to the contracted photographer for the yearbook picture. So all of your casuals and fun and rocking shots, you can really go wherever you feel like.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I didn't know that.
Exactly. They don't tell you that.
Right.
So it's a little Godfather-ish that, is in New Orleans and it's kind of unspoken. But at the same time, these people are friends of mine, so I don't do anything that's negative. I don't believe in negative advertising. I truly believe in my heart that if you like what you see and you hear that experience from somebody, you either want me or you don't. Right. And if you do, it's way worth 1,000% of my effort. If you're looking for cheapy here and there, that's not what we deliver. So me shooting 15 to 20 seniors compared to 200, I can be a lot more creative on every session
and take your time. Right.
Yeah. So I don't want to be the school photographer, you know?
Right.
So yeah. So advertising is always unique because they are, hate to say brainwashed, but they're not told that they have options.
Wow. I think that's, I would never have even thought to do, like when I went to somewhere on Metairie Road.
Yeah.
To take mine. I'll never, and again, like you described, I stood in front of a tree with my Eric Clapton Fender Stratocaster that was given. Yeah. And definitely look like a senior in high school. That's awesome news, man. Like I didn't know that was a thing. That's really cool.
Yeah. And look, it's funny because a lot of my photographer buddies all around the country, they do not have these contracted things. So it is well known in their area. It's like a thing of who are you going to go to? Right. And that's an evenly based advertising market. Yep. Because it's everybody's game. Right. It's not here. They don't even know that they have an option to go anywhere else. And I'm totally fine with letting them do the tux or the cap and gown shot, which we also do have. Right. But just these kids not being told, hey, by the way, you can go wherever you want for everything else. Right. Maybe then they would know. But then
how long? So typically, I remember going in like September to do that. Do they run basically all year long for you, man? Like how do they?
I get a lot of last minuters.
No way.
When's graduation? May what? 8th or 12th? I don't know when it is.
We need a picture to send them the invite.
Yeah. I get the whole. Okay, so this is what happens. So Easter's this Sunday, right? Mm-hmm. And So the last 2-3 weeks, I get phone calls for booking me. And of course, everybody's off for that week of Easter.
Here it goes.
Which is why I've got 2 seniors a day every day of next week, because everybody's out of school.
Right.
So while they're out of school, I don't have all day with my own family because I got to work. But it's my busy season. It's like Christmas for us, So after this kind of comes and goes, the summer comes, and that's the big question mark of what is going to come in, for the summer. And it used to be commercial work.
Yep.
It used to be Microsoft coming in town. It used to be, there's some DMCs that I work with, which are destination management companies, kind of like the commercial world's wedding planners. And this big company would come in town. They would hire this DMC, and they would call Chuck for the band. They'd call me for photography. The DMC does. Lines up all these amazing vendors that they enjoy working with. And the best part about commercial work, because they get a baby deal during the week, these events are usually during the week. They're not on the weekends that much.
They are the best events you'll work in your life.
They are.
It's
they just want to party.
Night. It's a Tuesday night. And it's 1,000 people at the Fillmore. Remember which one? We worked, I think, the Mitsubishi Motors one together.
That was fun.
I think so.
That was fun. That was over at the big theater, the big music theater thingy. What was it called?
No, that was at the Fillmore.
The Fillmore.
That was at the Fillmore.
I'm thinking about that big stage and all,
Oh yeah. But I mean, but back what you're saying though, man, those are fun. Those are
they're very fun.
Right.
They're fun. Their level of expectation is very high because these people. Okay, so when Microsoft comes in town, before they even come in town, the person in charge of planning all of their party functions and events and seminars, and there's a team for that company. They're the ones that call our DMC friends. So that's our DMC's clients. So I'm either working directly for the actual company's planner, or our DMC people call me and say, hey, we have a gig on September 6th. Here's the prereq, so you open. And everything just goes through them. But I absolutely love. I love, if somebody says, do you enjoy stress? No, I don't enjoy stress, but I do love and appreciate high level stress, because high level stress, they know what they want. They gave you the blueprint, for God's sakes. I mean, they practically give you a song list, and as long as you do what they need you to do and their client is happy, they call you again for next year.
And I know this. And I know that it's definitely been a taste lately of what it used to be like, but we operate better on high stress events. I mean, when we know that we have to bat it out the park, we got to do it. I mean,
agreed.
And we operate on that level. And when we don't have that level of stress, we get to 2020.
Yeah. And, we've mentioned this before in an earlier podcast that it came to fruition with me in the thought process of when we talk about people with experience. When I was younger, to say, oh, that guy has more experience than me, I took that on a creative level that he was better than me, or can do better than me, or it's not it at all, honestly. The experience part comes from, just like you're saying, bam, now you got 30 minutes instead of an hour and a half to get this done. So all of the past years of having to learn how to work fast, knowing what corners to cut because it's not important, how to just make the client happy. That's the experience that we're really talking about. And you're right, man. It's fun to kind of pull through, as we say.
And after the freak out happens, I mean, and as you get older, you just don't freak out as much. And
how many times did I walk to the side and I was like, dude, you gotta be freaking kidding me. They want me to do X, Y, Z in like 20 minutes. Okay, y'all, this is how we're gonna do this.
We're gonna it launches. But man, that was that's summer. That describes summer for a lot of us, man, is doing those Tuesday, Wednesday night conventions. And unfortunately, man, it's like there's not too much of that right now.
No, I am still waiting for the day. I hope when the governor comes out, he has a plan that, besides lifting more restrictions so we can do more. We still need to prove to them that, hey, we can work really hard with a lot of people in a safe way. So eventually that conversation does need to happen up close, just so we can get Microsoft back and Dell or whoever it was, you know. But yeah, man, I'm super excited. And people don't realize this, you know, years ago, I'm not sure about you, but years ago, people only knew New Orleans people by what they saw on TV and film, and their reputation of making it sound like a bunch of Cajun hicks was all over the place. And no actor ever did our accent correctly, so we sounded like dumb Cajun hicks, and we're not. And we have so many, you know, wonderful, talented, very talented people here. And these big commercial events come in town, and they're getting a better budget than they can in New York. And I can't tell you how many times the event planner for that huge company has told me, I was just in California last year. You guys blew them away.
Oh yeah, every time, George. Every time. And you know, what a lot of folks that come to New Orleans don't realize is the whole state has so much for everyone to see. And regardless of whether you're doing a swamp tour or anything like that, people don't realize that when you come to New Orleans, you're a stone's throw from a lot of different areas that are very unique to where we are. So yeah, man, like I've been told so many times, where I every convention that you play, they will come out and announce like, oh, next year we'll be in Orlando, or next year we'll be in Washington, D.C. or whatever. And then you'll get a call 2 years later saying, we had those other events, but we can't wait to come back to see you guys.
Logistically, we are a very unique city because we're small. And that's a huge problem for them when they are, say, in Cali, and these venues they want to go to are more spread out. Well, they got to take care of transportation. Not that that's always an issue, but it's an added level of stress and timing and planning. And you're praying these people who are drinking and eating want to go to these tours that you paid for, and you know, blah blah blah. And that's what happened. I never forget. It was like 10 years ago or so when these commercial people started realizing, whoa, wait. The hotel we can be in is 3 blocks from the convention center. That's all day, and they could take a pedicab, the dude on the bike with the box on the back you sit in. Like that's how they can get out. Oh my goodness, this is fantastic. So they're looking at transportation budget that they had to do before, and now they can put it on either back in their pocket or enhance the experience they're already doing, and they're still saving money. So yeah, man, I'm excited.
I'm excited too, man. You know, and the same can be said about everyone that talks about the Super Bowl towns and what a great town New Orleans is, because you can walk. If you stay in the quarter, you can walk to the game. You can walk to the convention center where the Super Bowl experience is, which is like the big game area. You can walk the whole town versus somewhere like Miami. If you ever been to that Miami stadium, you're not getting close to that thing at all.
No, it's
It's a tough town. So there's a lot about New Orleans that I really do hope that the travel coordinators and the corporate event planners across the country really remember and want to come back here for those unique experiences that I think that only we can offer. And then you know what we're excited about too is moving forward is being able to take, we've been working on this for a while with the state, to bring a Louisiana party to somewhere else, so that, you know, we want to bring, we have the whole plan together, and we have to get it. We were about to do it right before COVID, but to be able to assemble multiple businesses, whether it's entertainment, food, art, etc., and bring these guys together and basically have a rolling road show that can pull into any state fair, corporate event, etc., across the country, and provide Louisiana entertainment, Louisiana food, Louisiana art, and a sample of our culture to have our little corner, which we're very, very excited about. And I actually have a video coming out about that in a few weeks, if I can get the time to do it, you know. So we're excited about bringing Louisiana, not only bringing corporate events back to Louisiana, but bringing our world elsewhere.
Yeah, that's so true. And something as simple as our second lines, and people that are guests that are here, they go downstairs from the hotel down to the lobby area, to the back area. They give them drinks. They start putting beads on them and glow in the dark thingies, and they're going, "What is going on?"
Right.
And we're like, "You'll see."
You'll see.
Oh, is this one of those little second lines? I'm like, baby, you're not getting a little second line. You just hired BBC Destination Management, and what they have waiting for you outside is a full parade with 2 marching
with
bands
floats
and elephants and floats. Like, how they put together what they do blows me away. To me, they're just the best in the city, the most fantastic people to work with. But when I tell you, go big or go home, if a company wants to do it, we can do it.
George, I tell you one thing you'll never see me do is I could never be one of those stilt walkers.
Oh God,
you know what I'm talking about?
How do they do it in New Orleans, man? There's more cracks and crevices than anything.
I saw 2 guys on stilts walking down Canal Street for what you just described, a full-on second line with a float for a corporate event, and I'm sitting there saying Hail Marys that these guys don't find the huge sinkhole by Harrah's Casino. And I'm saying, my God, like that would be awful.
You would think he would have like LED lights on the footing, just so he could see the ground better, because he's a good 10 feet high at least.
Oh, buddy, I'd have police protection on either leg. I couldn't do it, man. I always it's the people that I look up to.
Yeah, you would be the like Disney was the elephant, when he was falling down. Dumbo. The firemen do with the little
yes.
Walking side by side you at all times.
You'll never see me do that, but we can hire him for you.
They're good at it.
We know who to call.
And that we do. We have a lot of good stuff to do.
Right.
Well, man, I say we go ahead and close this one out, just because that's a lot of information to take in on one.
Man, we ran through the circus on this one. But man, George, I think what we need to do too is we'll see what the governor says today, and maybe we'll touch base later in the week and talk about where these new restrictions or lack thereof bring the event industry. Maybe we can do one a little bit later in the week.
Absolutely. And look, for anybody who is not in New Orleans and you're somewhere else and you're considering just visiting, or you are with a company and you want to be the first 10 companies to come over here and do your convention party with us, understand that this city is ridiculously hygienic right now. I think that's everywhere, and we're all obeying the rules, and that's how we can open up our city. So we have all those procedures in place to have fun. Not everything we do is the dirty Bourbon Street floor.
Agreed.
And we're all ready to rock, man.
All of the events that we've had so far have been very COVID compliant.
Yeah.
And the state still has a mandate for masks, and all of those all of the COVID restrictions are still in place here. We're just trying to hopefully be able to get back to gathering in some larger formats because of the level of vaccination that we're also seeing in Louisiana. With I think we're like number 2 in the country with the availability of the vaccine. So as those numbers go up for the vaccine and as the hospitalizations come down, we're just hoping that we're able to gather, even while practicing COVID safety, be able to gather in some larger formats.
So just to put a cherry on top, I spoke with somebody yesterday that has the input knowledge of knowing the real numbers as far as statewide of who's in the hospital because of COVID. The number was 38 as of last week.
And that's great. I mean, it was in the 50s for a while. It was in the 70s and then 50s. And now if we're down to the 30s, I mean, that's
the entire state. That's not like one hospital.
Yeah. What a wonderful day. What a wonderful day for us, man.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Yeah.
Well, Chuck, you wanna bring us home? You want to get us out of here?
I'll get us out of here, man. Thank you for tuning in to episode number 6. Of the NOLA Live podcast, and we will see you all soon. And stay safe.
Yes.
Stay well, and we'll catch you on the flip side.
Absolutely. Gotta be good now.
Peace.